Hi, today is Friday, January 19th, 2023. I am sitting at my dining room table. I'm about to go to work now by car today. I usually go to work on foot, but today I have my car ready because today I have to drive to my customer's place to visit for a visit. So I have a couple of minutes to spare. I'm going to read this article. I just searched on the internet. I've never read this article before, and I will read this for you so that I could practice English by reading it aloud while focusing on exact pronunciation and picking up meanings and grammatical points on the spot right away. Along the way, I will stop and try to memorize the good expressions or words, cliches, idioms, or the whole sentences that I deem useful when it comes to communicating with foreigners. I work for Korea Telecom KT, the number one carrier in Korea, and so and also I'm very proud of it. I really appreciate KT's help establishing me in Korea. So here we go. 3 reasons to buy AT&T stock in 2024. Timothy Green, the Motley Fool. Motley means the potpourri of things, right? Motley mop. Motley mop comes to my mind. Telecom giant AT&T, NYSET, is vastly underperforming the S&P 500 in 2023. With just a few trading days left in the year, AT&T stock is down nearly 10% year to date. That's not a good expression. Year to date, while the S&P 500 has gained 24%. So there is a 34% gap year to date, year to year, year to date, right? Year to year. AT&T faces its fair share of challenges, including a tough competitive environment, high debt levels, and uncertain economy. But investors shouldn't let the stock's miserable performance in 2023 push them away. Here's why AT&T shares could come roaring back in 2024. Roaring back, that's good word. Roaring back. Phrase, right? Roaring back, underperforming, roaring back. Investors hide debt levels. Yeah, we would say high debt, but high debt levels is more trained, educated word expression. High debt level. 1. Steady subscriber gains. AT&T's core wireless business has slowed down since the pandemic, but the company is still winning subscribers at a healthy pace. AT&T reported postpaid phone net adds of 468,000 in Q3 of 2023, an improvement over the first and second quarters. That's not as impressive as rival T-Mobile, which booked 850,000 postpaid phone net adds in Q3. Net adds, but it handedly beat Verizon's mega gain of 100,000 net postpaid phone subscribers. AT&T's churn remained low, just 0.97% for postpaid phones in the third quarter. That compares to 0.9% for Verizon. So churn away, right? You lose your customers. They switch to other competitorship, right? Churn remained low. So let's remember the sentence. AT&T's churn remained low. They have a high debt levels, but AT&T's churn rate remained low, right? Just that compares, here's another one, that compares to 0.9% for Verizon. That compares to 0.9% for Verizon. T-Mobile, impressive booked. Beyond wireless, fiber internet is a long-term growth opportunity for AT&T. Fiber growth is ultimately limited by how rapidly the company can build out its network, which is a capital-intensive process. AT&T's fiber network passed 20.7 million locations at the end of the third quarter, up from 15.5 million 2 years prior. That's impressive. The penetration rate, or what percentage of those passed locations are paying fiber customers, now sits at 39%. The penetration rate now sits at 39%. Are paying fiber subscribers. So customers are paying for fiber. Paying fiber customers now sits at 39%. AT&T is losing customers for its legacy broadband internet offerings, but the fiber business is picking up the slack. Fiber net adds totaled 296,000 in Q3, enough to push the overall broadband subscriber count slightly higher. Fiber carries a higher price tag for customers than legacy broadband, so broadband revenue can increase even if overall broadband subscriber growth is sluggish. That's another good term. Fiber carries a higher price tag for customers than legacy broadband, so broadband revenue can increase even if overall broadband subscriber growth is sluggish. Growth is sluggish. It carries a higher price tag, right? The state of the economy will impact AT&T's results in 2024, but even with the inflation and economic uncertainty of 2023, the company has managed to keep winning customers. 2. Rising winning customers. The rising free cash flow, AT&T expects to generate $16.5 billion in free cash flow in 2023. That's up from previous outlook calling for at least $16 billion. It's also a significant improvement over the $14.1 billion in free cash flow the company churned out in 2022. Churned out means you're churning out your damn juice. You're turning out your cheese whey, right? Churning out. It was a hard job back in the Western era. It was Western pioneering era. Yeah, I have to stop here and come back to where I left off. Once I turn on my computer, starts to sipping a coffee. I have to go to work now because I have to be at my office by 8. Our system is all computerized, and as soon as I turn on the computer, it clocks me in for the day. When I turn off my computer, it clocks me out for the day. So I have to be there. The computer is monitoring me, man. So I left off here, right? I just arrived at my office. I'm taking a break at the some meeting room or training room. So I am alone, and I hear some echo, but that shouldn't be a problem for you to listen. So here, AT&T's free cash flow has a lot of moving parts. The timing of customer payments, the timing of capital spending, and distributions from DirecTV all push and pull this important metric. Customer paying, the timing of customer payments, The company is reportedly considering selling its 70% stake in DirecTV, which would simplify the situation. Looking ahead to 2024, the intensity of AT&T's capital spending should fade a bit as the company passes the peak of its 5G investment cycle. AT&T hasn't provided guidance yet, but CFO Pascal Desroches does see a step down in capex from the elevated levels we've been at in 22 and 23. Elevated levels. Lighter capital spending combined with continued subscriber gains should push free cash flow higher in 2024, all else being equal. Another factor could be AT&T's recent decision to revamp its wireless network with more flexible radio access network technology. AT&T will spend as much as $14 billion over 5 years installing hardware and software that will reduce complexity, increase flexibility, and lower costs. Any savings in capital spending can be reallocated to other areas, like a fiber internet to boost growth. Here, internet should be with capital I, but now increasing number of people or organizations use internet with lowercase I. Barring an economic catastrophe, AT&T's free cash flow should continue to move higher in 2024. That's a good sign. Barring an economic catastrophe. That's another good expression. Barring an economic catastrophe. Barring an economic catastrophe. Barring an economic catastrophe. 3. A dirt cheap valuation. AT&T is valued at about $119 billion. Based on the company's guidance, the stock trades at a price-to-free cash flow ratio of just over 7. One knock on AT&T as an investment is the company's high debt levels. It had $138 billion in debt at the end of the third quarter, with interest rates no longer at rock bottom levels, As AT&T refinances this debt over time, the company's interest payments could rise. Right, the company's interest payments could rise. That's another good sentence, man, from my own perspective. I judge, not you. The company's interest payments could rise. The company's interest payments could rise. No longer at rock bottom levels. No longer at rock bottom levels. The good news is that AT&T's debt maturities are spread out, and its plans to use cash on hand to settle maturities over the next 2 years. Settle maturities. That's another good sentence, man. Precious jewel. The good news is that AT&T's debt maturities are spread out. Debt maturities are spread out, and that it plans to use cash on hand to settle maturities over the next 2 years. Let me read one more time. The good news is that AT&T's debt maturities are spread out, and that it plans to use cash on hand to settle maturities over the next 2 years. The average weighted interest rate AT&T pays on its debt is almost certain to increase eventually, but it won't be happening anytime soon. AT&T's debt is a problem, but a manageable one. Wow, yeah. AT&T's debt is a problem, but a manageable one. Really, AT&T went bankrupt before and acquired by SBC, I think, cabling company, but they kept its original name because AT&T is worldwide #1 carrier Yeah, I would like to go to AT&T and work with them, if you may, if you let me, right? AT&T isn't a fast-growing company, but the stock's valuation seems far too pessimistic. If the telecom giant can succeed in boosting free cash flow in 2024, a higher multiple for the stock could be in the cards. Higher multiple for the stock could be in the cards. That's another good sentence. Higher multiple for the stock could be in the cards. A higher multiple for the stock could be in the cards. Should you invest $1,000 AT&T right now? Before you buy stock in AT&T, consider this. The Motley Fool Stock Advisor analyst team just identified what they believe are the 10 best stocks for investors to buy now, and AT&T wasn't one of them. The 10 stocks that made the cut could produce monster returns, higher multiple monster returns in the coming years. Stock Advisor provides investors with an easy-to-follow blueprint for success, including guidance on building a portfolio, regular updates from analysts, and 2 new stock picks each month. The Stock Advisor service has more than tripled the return of S&P 500 since 2002. See the 10 stocks later. Stock Advisor returns as of December 18th, 2023. Timothy Green has positions in AT&T. The Motley Fool recommends T-Mobile US and Verizon Communications. The Motley Fool has a disclosure policy. 3 reasons to buy AT&T stock in 2024 was originally published by the Motley Fool. Timothy Green. So I love AT&T. AT&T was basically a role model for all the carriers around the world. That was true at least in 1980s, 90s, and early 2000. Now it's lagging behind Verizon Wireless, Sprint, and KT, Korea Telecom. But I forgive you. AT&T has potential to increase. Its debt the debt maturities are spread out throughout the 2 years, and it plans to use its cash on hand to settle maturities over that next 2 years. And also AT&T, if you buy the AT&T stock, the return could be a higher multiple. So a higher multiple for the stock could be in the cards, but it's not among the 10 best stocks to buy in 2004 because the AT&T's growth rate is slow and it has high debt levels, and but it gained a lot of subscribers. It compares well to the Verizon, which meagerly gained 100,000 subscribers last year. Broadband penetration rate is very high, right? It has paying customers. It can manage its debt payment, interest payments also. AT&T. Before I go, let me go over the words, expressions that I try to remember. Fair share, uncertain economy. Yeah, barring an economic catastrophe, churn. It's churned out, customers churn only like 1%, 0.7% churn. And turnover means produced revenue. Turnover. Churn rate means you lose your customers to competitors. Churn in, churn out, different meaning. With a churn out debt or churn out productions, churn out revenue. limited network passed locations, percentage push the overall broadband subscriber, not broadband, but broadband, fiber, right, sluggish. The growth was sluggish. The overall broadband subscriber growth is sluggish. Rising free cash flow. DirecTV, looking at CFO, right, spending combined with continued subscriber gains, AT&T will spend, right, over 5 years, real allocated, barring an economic catastrophe, at rock bottom rates, at rock bottom levels. Companies' interest payments could rise. The good news is that AT&T's debt maturities are spread out and that it plans to use cash on hand to settle maturities over the next 2 years. AT&T's debt is a problem, but a manageable one. It isn't a fast-growing company. Wasn't one of them, right? Let me just type 10 best stocks for you, right? Yeah, I need to subscribe. I will just do it later when you don't see my article. Thanks for listening. And if you do have any articles for me to read, please suggest, and I will read them for you if I judge them okay. Any articles could be okay, like lazy political or politically incorrect articles, no problem. Internet is where we express our thoughts, ideas, and feelings, so that's okay. And also, if you are from AT&T or some other major companies like SAP, Deutsche Telekom, British Telecom, or you need a good marketing representative who can speak a multilingual languages. I can speak some Chinese because I'm attending a Chinese class every Saturday for 2 hours. It has been more than 2 years. I am a slow learner because I don't practice Chinese, and also I don't review what I've learned. Tomorrow I have a class, so I need to work on my Chinese, but I am not motivated yet. But I can speak a little bit of Chinese. I can speak fluent English. Of course, I'm Korean, so I can speak good Korean. I can communicate with North Koreans who use the same Korean, so I think I can speak 4 languages. Comrades, man. I have to retire in 5 years. I would stay loyal to my company, KT, the number 1 carrier in Korea, until my time is up. Then I need to jump to another position. I'm interested in the international trade, export-import of goods from China or from North America or wherever you are. But I wouldn't mind working for another company in an overseas assignment. Yeah, I would like to work in Germany, France, UK, Czechoslovakia. Yeah, it was good. Italy, of course. Austria, Switzerland, or Netherlands, Denmark, even Norway, which is very cold. I've been there, it's cold. Or Greece, no problem, Santorini. Turkey, man, it's a good country to visit as a tourist. Turkey, no problem. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, it was good initially, but I think my favor would evaporate quickly because strapped in Islamic culture and all that. And also North America. Mexico, I would not want to go there. Crimes, I could be killed on the streets, man. So USA, of course, I would like to go there. And Canada, of course. Australia, New Zealand, yeah, those are good countries to visit. I've been there. So if you do have a nice job offers and you are a well-established company, let me know. And also I would be interested in working at a farm big farm so that I could go there as a menial worker for 6 months. Then I become a manager. I become a company CEO for you. I can manage your company well. Ginseng farm, yeah, Canada Ginseng farm is also a good company to start with. Yeah, I was just babbling away. I digressed. Thanks for listening, and thank you for your wonderful time. Have a good evening. Good night. Good morning here. It's 8:30 in the morning. Bye-bye.